Morbid Maniacs, it's time for another spooky video. And for tonight's spooky video, I'm going to be talking all about the Slaughterhouse Canyon. Whew. Now before I get into this video, I just want to apologize for the fan blasting in the background. I'm sweating my ass off, you guys, okay? I don't have a normal AC anymore. It messed up, so I have to have some form of air hitting me. So I apologize in advance for that sound, but I have to have it in here, otherwise I will die. Located in Kingman, Arizona, otherwise known as Myuuji Canyon, the story takes place in the 1800s. The gold rush was said to be a very difficult, troubling experience for a lot of people during that time. Many gold seekers would fall victim to disease, accidental deaths, and extreme disappointments in return for their sacrifices. The gold rush began in Arizona around 1858. Arizona was a state in which gold was very hard to find. Many families relocated in search of wealth and success, and usually were the ones who suffered the loss the most. Throughout history, Myuuji Canyon served as a military camp and a reservation for Native Americans. However, it would soon experience growth when a section of railroad was routed through it. In 1882, there was a family living in a little small wooden shack at the bottom of Myuuji Canyon. The husband and the father of this family was a dreamer and wanted nothing more but to provide a happy and successful life for his wife and kids. The man would leave the wife and children and would be gone for no more than 2 weeks at a time. He always returned, however, and the family always had food on their plates and clothing on their backs. The little gold and food that they did have was brought home by the man. Unfortunately, he would also fall victim to the gold rush tragedy. One day, the family had kissed the father goodbye as he rode off on a mule to once again provide for his family. Only this time, he would not return. The wife had patiently waited for her husband. The family had ate what little food they had left, until eventually they didn't have any more. The mother soon realized that the father was not coming back. They began to starve. They were growing pale and weak and begging the mother to give them some food. However, she could not. One night, during a terrible thunderstorm, tormented and driven mad by the sounds of her children's painful scream and agonizing hunger, the wife went to put on her wedding dress. He then proceeded to murder every one of her children and chop their bodies into small pieces. When she had finished her atrocious act, her white wedding gown and the walls of their small wooden shack were painted all with blood. The woman then carried what was left of her children down to the riverbank and tossed them in. She collapsed in a blood-soaked heap and began to wail for her children. She was overcome with guilt and sadness. She remained by the riverbank and continued crying and screaming until the next morning, where she eventually died of starvation herself. She died crying for the children who she had murdered, but who were doomed to die anyway. Today, visitors describe a feeling of anguish that permeates through the air. It's said that on quiet nights, when the air is thick and the moon is full, if you venture into Slaughterhouse Canyon, you will hear the wails and sobs of the heartbroken, psychotic mother, as well as the screams of the children who were withering away. The sounds of their screaming echo throughout the entire canyon. One story talks about a group of teenagers who visited the Slaughterhouse Canyon. They were partying, drinking, and they even had a bonfire lit in the canyon. They did this on a regular basis. That was until one night when they began hearing the painful welling sounds surrounding them, echoing off the hills. They quickly stood up and started searching the area, but to no avail. There was nobody there. They were all alone. It frightened them so bad that they left and never returned. Another group of teenagers visited the area to go legend tripping. They sat at the bottom of the canyon and by the remains of the old slaughterhouse shack. They then rolled down their windows to their vehicle and sat in silence as they waited to hear the screams. Eventually, the wails and weeping sounds began, scaring them to the point they left the area. So, there's the story of the Slaughterhouse Canyon. What do you guys think of this legend? Have you ever visited there? Mike, I know you're from Arizona, so have you ever heard of this urban legend? Would you ever visit there for yourself? I totally would. It reminds me of La Llorona. I can never pronounce that right. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a big old thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already and become more of a maniac. Also, be sure to head on over to my second channel, Mel Vlogs, where I will be posting all of my vlogs and all my other random videos. And I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one.